Today, we are about to talk about this port strike. So, yesterday I was dropping little shorts to tell y'all to pay attention, but today I'm about to give you a video to tell you what you should be paying attention to, which is the port strikes of the longshoremen. Okay, and if you don't know what a longshoreman is, these is the people that get out here on the ports and take care of the containers and make sure the gateway is clear, everything is going in and out how it's supposed to be, all our goods and supplies and things that we need, anywhere from food to cars to everything. Like, they move everything, and they're not being paid correctly. Their contract is up and nobody wants to talk about paying them more. And I've seen a couple comments on some videos about, we all going through it, so what makes them any better? Well, we all don't run literally the economy with the jobs that we do. So I think that whatever it is that they're asking for, they should get it. And then I listened to Mr. Harold Daggett, which would be the president of the ILA, the International Shoreman Association, speak about how he realizes that the world is changing, and because it's changing, they're trying to get rid of people. And I be telling y'all all the time about how AI is taking over stuff or whatever the case might be. So if you think that your job is secure when they're trying to automate being a longshoreman, then you're sadly mistaken. So that's something that you definitely need to pay attention to. So there's that. He also talked about how, if you want to get something done in this world, this is what it is that you have to do. Like, you have to stand on business. And I talk to y'all about that as well all the time. When I say it to y'all about, well, shit, what would they do if we just stop paying bills, stop participating in their economy? There's really nothing they can do but get on board, negotiate, or whatever, or we just don't do it. Like, they can't come to each and every one of our house and put us in jail. They can't do anything to each and every one of us. That's why they make it a point to condition and make examples out of a couple, so that everybody else is fearful of doing that same thing. But there's always power in numbers and power in masses. So this man is the president of 85,000 dock workers, and he wants to make sure that they're taken care of and that they're not going to just be swept away because of people coming from other countries creating these AI things that allows them not to have a job. And I don't blame him. So basically, they're in negotiations with the United States Maritime Alliance, which is the UMSX, and they represent dock workers from Maine to Texas, and these are the ones that I was talking about from another country or whatever. And their striking point is their pay. And he said explicitly that he will cripple them. And that's how serious it is. Like, and when he say I will cripple you, he means the economy. Like, his job and all those other workers' jobs are very important. It's very dangerous. People die all the time out there trying to make sure we have what it is that we have. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that's what we done been distracted from with all this Diddy and Cardi and all this crap. You know what I'm saying? Because if this happens and they actually go on strike, like, it's gonna affect to the tune of $5 million a day. And so how do you think that that's gonna be recouped? It's gonna come from us, we the people. They gonna raise shit up so high that we gonna really for real go into a global recession for real. Like, because they gotta pay this stuff back. So I just be wanting y'all to be aware and to pay attention. And bro, don't be just scrolling your phone looking at people who gonna be able to sustain themselves if this happen. Diddy, he in jail, but still, Cardi, they all got the money to sustain themselves through this. We don't. But we sitting up here watching them, laughing, talking in the comments, being ignorant, basically. and not realize that we are going to be the ones to wear the brunt of whatever happened in this situation. So the very least that you could do is be aware of what's coming on and try to prepare yourself. And how you prepare yourself as we the people is just trying to stockpile at this point, because nobody really is paying attention. But when they do pay attention, which will probably be tomorrow, they're gonna do the same thing they did with COVID. They're gonna go buy all the stuff up, you know what I'm saying? And it's already not enough. And it's not going to be enough if this go into place. Like, things is gonna get shorter and shorter. So then you got people out here buying up everything, and then you just don't have nothing, you know? So canned goods and all those kind of things, non-perishables and stuff like that, like, that's what you really need to be concentrating on and trying to stockpile that stuff for a good couple months, because every day at 5 million, that means that it's going to take 6 weeks per day they on strike for us to come back, to get over that. That's nuts. That could go all the way into the beginning of the year. You know what I'm saying? That we don't have life how we used to have in life, which is going to the store and picking up what we need or whatever the case might be, or going to businesses to do whatever we got to do, because it's not going to be like that. It's not going to be as easy to come across things that are just so accessible to you now. I literally I read a comment um over on Facebook about this, where somebody was trying to make people aware, and some person came in the comments saying, "What? This don't affect me because I get EBT." Like, bro, I couldn't do nothing but laugh, because it's like, man, people is snowed, like snow. You understand me? Like, you didn't even comprehend what was said to you before you trying to make a joke out of it. If it ain't no fucking food, excuse my language, if it's not no food to buy, well, what is your EBT card gonna do with that? You know what I'm saying? Like, we gotta think critical around here. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people, critical thinking, hate to see them coming, and that's why the economy has been able to continue the way that it has, because most people is snowed, and they wait on the government to tell them what's going on instead of thinking for themselves and try to figure out, well, what are they not saying? Because all of the news and all of the social media and all that done been only about Cardi and Diddy, mostly Diddy and all of his crap, for the last couple of, maybe a week or so or whatever. But y'all gotta know that was strategic, because they know that you're gonna go and rub your feet together and laugh at Diddy or whatever while they're doing all of this shit. And then when you get through rubbing your feet and you get ready to go to the store to go get you a pack of oodles or noodles or whatever the fuck you trying to go get, it ain't gonna be there. It's gonna look much like COVID when we went to the store. Remember that? But these particular people that striking, they was there, and they was making sure that we got what we did get. But if they don't do that, what we gonna have? So it's like, you gotta wake up and you gotta see stuff for what it is. The government should have been. This should have been all over the news. This should have been all over social media. But do you ask yourself why it wasn't? Because this is not something that they want us to know. We'll know eventually, but it'll be too late for us to do anything about it. We'll just perish based on their decisions. And that's not cool. That's why I be telling y'all all the time how I feel about this whole government thing and all of that. Like, this man is literally showing us what you do when the government is not cooperating with what needs to appease the people instead of themselves. You strike. You hit them in their pocket. That's the only thing they understand. And like I said earlier, if we all just stopped participating, there's nothing that they can do about it. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. But we're so afraid of the conditioning that they gave us based on what will happen and the laws that they create to appease themselves, that we just go with the flow, even though we're barely able to keep our head above water. And we still in comments arguing over who should do what and this and that and third. But meanwhile, you at the house robbing Peter to pay Paul, but they not. So that's something that you really need to think about. But I have an excerpt from Mr. Harold Daggett that I think that you all should listen to, and you could get a better understanding of what's going on. So, here's Mr. Harold Baggett.
Would like to see everybody lose their jobs. Let me tell you, it's not just. He took himself the Christmas bonus, $4 billion. He took it out for him and his family, $4 billion. A French company, I won't mention their name, they gave all their employees 50 months' salary as a Christmas gift. Now, look at that money. They have so much money, they don't even know what to do with it. They know they're building up terminals. They want to go automation. They want more money now. Get rid of these men. We don't need them no more. It's a big change going on. I've been fighting automation for years. They destroyed LA. They put a fully automated terminal out there, Merce Line. 800 longshoremen lost their jobs. If it was up to them, they would like to see everybody lose their jobs. Let me tell you, it's not just in the longshore. They got ships in Europe that they're building. They got one now, runs on a battery, container ship. No crew. Somebody in an office building runs it. Goes out, goes in. They don't want anybody. They don't want to pay anybody. It's not only this union, it's in every union in every aspect. If they keep putting machinery to take our jobs, who's going to pay the income tax? Machines are not. Who's going to pay for the military, the roads? Everything runs by taxes. Take Easy Pass. The first time they came out with Easy Pass, one lane, and cars were going through and everybody's sitting in their car and go, what's that all about? I'm going to get one of them. Today, all those union jobs are gone and it's all Easy Pass. People don't realize it. Everybody's got 3 cars, everybody got an Easy Pass on the window. And they go through like it's nothing. And they get billed in the mail. They didn't care about that union worker working in the booth. You go in a store today, it's self-checking. They don't need anybody to check out no more. Someone has to get into Congress and say, whoa, time out. This world is going too fast for us. Machines got to stop. Yes, we're getting smart kids out of MIT and all these places. Yeah, they're all brilliant. But what good is it if you're going to put people out of work? Who's going to support their families? Machines? Machines don't have families. You got to draw the line. These companies that work in the maritime business come from overseas. Not one of them belongs to America. They want to come into America and build fully automated terminals and get rid of American jobs. Good paying jobs that support families with medical, pensions, annuities, and pay taxes. They want to get rid of them. Where's the President of the United States? He's not fighting for us. He told in LA, he told the union, hurry up and get a contract. That's the mentality they have. They don't even know what the hell they're doing today. Well, I know what I'm doing. I'm going to save everybody's job when it comes to the ILA and to all the unions around the world, because we're going to fight it with that alliance. I'll shut them down throughout the world to prove that we can beat them. So, yes, your answer is we came a long way. We came along so advanced that technology is mind-boggling. We never had cameras on the piers. They got a camera on every pole. They got cameras they want to put in the trucks to watch the driver driving. What is this, Big Brother? I'm against all that. I'm against that. A man can't even breathe without a camera looking at him. That's not right. Technology that's been good for the industry. That's a tough one because I got to be careful because I'm against automation. Semi-automation is automation. It's just the back avenue had to come in and give you automation without you knowing it. But certain technology, yes, is good because computers, we get more work done with computers. We have doubled the cargo. We have, if you look now, we have ships that are being built by these companies. Check this out. That whole 22,000 containers. It's a floating city. They had to take the Bayonne Bridge and raise it way up here so the ships could go under it to get in here to unload them. 22,000 containers. It's amazing how we came from the first ship with just a small amount of containers 25, 50 boxes on them. So look at the future now. Look at the future in money. They went from millions of dollars to billions and billions of dollars. So the world is going by real quick. Let me explain a little bit about this. The first cranes that went up with diesel engines up there. As time went on, they got rid of diesel. Today, it's electric. The jobs on the waterfront are very dangerous. Just 2 years ago, one of my mechanics fell into the electric and he was fried to death. Wife, 4 kids. Happens all the time on the piers. People getting killed. There was a woman checker. She was checking the boxes when a guy had a high-low with 2 stacks of steel. He should have been riding in reverse. He was looking through the bundles, knocked her down. He didn't even see her, dragged her under the high-low in front of her son, ripped her apart and killed her. It happens. It happens down here all the time. I had 2 guys killed right in front of me. It happens. We have a group in our local 1804 days called the Lashes. The most dangerous job on the waterfront. When they put the containers on top of the hatch covers, all the way up high, you see them in the container ship, they got to be all lashed down in case the storm and the seas are real rough. The ship is doing this and this. If they're not lashed down right, those containers are going to go over into the ocean and sink. Millions of dollars of cargo sunk. So what? My men got to go out there. It's 0 degrees. There's ice on top of the container. It's freezing with metal bars and hooks, safety lines on them, way up high, and they got to put them down tight, get up on the box, slide on the ice up on top. Completely dangerous. That's in the north. In the south, it could be 95, 105 degrees. Soaking wet down there. They got a guy that goes around, they call him the water boy, giving water to the men so they don't dehydrate. Or the ones that work in the hull of the ship, they get water. It's different elements. You have us here in the north, Canada. You have from Virginia down, all the way to Houston. Hot. Florida, everything's hot. Different elements. Dangerous job. We've had 17 people killed in the last 3 years. That's 17 people that didn't come home. We just had a kid killed in Houston. Young kid, a big roll of paper, weighed a ton, rolled off on top of him, killed him. That's why I fight. I fight for jurisdiction. I fight for safety. I fight for these to be compensated with good salaries. These companies are making billions of dollars. They should take us along. We brought them to where they are. Now they want to get rid of us? That's not fair. Not fair at all. And this union's been around close to 200 years. So you could see why I'm always fighting. Because you had leaders like me, and the companies got smart and said, we don't want to go through another 3 months strike. Let's negotiate in good faith. Back then, the companies didn't make the money that we make today. So we negotiated in good faith. We went with 6-year contracts. And we got $1 raise, $1.50 raise for 6 years. It was great. It was a lot of money compared to 80 cents for 3 months. But today's world, it's changing into the future. They're not making millions no more. They're making billions. And they're spending it fast as they make it. I want a piece of that for my men, because when they made their most money was during COVID. When my men had to go to work on those piers every single day, when everybody stayed home and went to work. Not my men. They died out there with the virus. We all got sick with the virus. We kept them going. From Canada to Maine to Texas, Great Lakes, Puerto Rico, now the Bahamas, everybody went to work during COVID. Nobody stayed home. Well, I want to be compensated for that. I'm not asking for the world. They know what I want. They know what they want, and if they don't, well, then I have to go into the street and we have to fight for what we rightfully deserve. You brought that up because I would like to tell you something.
Okay.
When that bridge fell, my longshoremen are on this side of the bridge, no work, no salaries. Biden called me up on the phone, President Biden. Harold, I got the money to build a new bridge. I go, oh. What about my longshoremen? They're out of work now. They didn't cause no problem. Well, he goes, I got the money for building a new bridge and getting the bridge that's in the water out of there. I ask you one more time, President, what about the men whose families now have no money coming in. Well, you know, if there was an explosion on a ship, maybe I can get the money. Listen, you're supposed to be a friend of the ILA. You came to me when you wanted the AFL-CIO backing. I got it for you. You called me in the kitchen, you thanked me 1,000,000 times. I'm telling you, my members need help. Well, let me see what I can do. In politics, that means you're not getting it, okay? I opened up a fund with management after the first pandemic. Let me see how much money's in that fund. I called them up. They called me back. 300 million. Wow, are you kidding me? We put 300 million in there? Yeah. Well, I'd like to take some money out of there and pay for those families in Baltimore. Well, Harold, it's only for pandemic. Well, what about we get your lawyers and my lawyers, and any disaster, nature disaster, whatever, we can draw from it. I have no problem as long as the lawyers work it out. They worked it out one day. It cost me $1.2 million every week to pay for their families. Plus, they were allowed to go to unemployment. And it's over now. They're back working. The ships are going in and out. I never got no help from the government. We did it on our own, management and union. That's what we're supposed to be doing, working together. And I hope we get back into that right realm. Today don't know what a strike is.
Right.
When my men hit the streets, from Maine to Texas, every single port will lock down. You know what's gonna happen? I'll tell you. First week, be all over the news every night, boom, boom. Second week, guys who sell cars can't sell cars because the cars ain't coming in off the ships. They get laid off. Third week, malls start closing down. They can't get the goods from China. They can't sell clothes. They can't do this. Everything in the United States comes on a ship. They go out of business. Construction workers get laid off because the materials aren't coming in. The steel's not coming in. The lumber's not coming in. They lose their job. Everybody's hating the longshoremen now because now they realize how important our jobs are. Now I have the president screaming at me, I'm putting a Taft-Hartley on you. Go ahead. Taft-Hartley means I have to go back to work for 90 days. That's a cooling off period. Do you think when I go back for 90 days, those men are going to go to work on that pier? It's going to cost the company's money to pay their salaries. Well, they went from 30 moves an hour maybe to 8. They're going to be like this. Who's going to win here in the long run? You're better off sitting down and let's get a contract and let's move on with this world. And in today's world, I'll cripple you. I will cripple you, and you have no idea what that means. Nobody does.